The Mark Cox Show. Find everything Mark Cox at 971talk.com/Cox.
Chris Arps in for Mark Cox. I love that song. You know why? I'm gonna bring back some memories for some old school North County people. That was a song they used to play at Aloha during the fast skate. When you could just go around the thing at 150 miles an hour and run over people. And, I can't stop. Watch out. But,
there was a show on probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I think it's Bradley Whitford. Mm-hmm. He was on it, and he used to always say, everything can be solved with fog hat. And I was like, I love it. I love everything about it.
That's a good memory. I always wondered what the heck is a fog hat, though. What is a fog hat?
A hat of fog. I have no idea.
sounds like something illicit. But anyway.
Oh, no. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, it might be on there. Our next guest is Scott Mitchell. Scott Mitchell is my brother from another mother. He's from Oklahoma. And I wanted to bring Scott in because he is the political guru of Oklahoma politics. And I wanted to bring him in to talk about our new EPA administrator, Scott Pruitt. Scott Mitchell knows him well, probably knows all about his political history, can give us a little insight on him. So I thought we'd have him on and see how he's doing. Scott Mitchell.
I thought a fog hat was wherever Felix Jones and Romo were running the show in Dallas.
You just had to get your Dallas Cowboy shot in. Scott Mitchell is a huge Green Bay Packers fan. He gives me, before we get started, I need.
Okay, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to go ahead and overtake it.
What I need a 30-second Jerry Jones imitation.
Well, as you know, Chris, what we might be doing is I understand there's a big dome in St. Louis to beat the team. And my announcement is, we ain't the ones.
I really like you. I really like you. Let you talk about my Cowboys like that.
Well, we're not making fun. Nobody's making fun down here right now. We're waiting to see if the clock's going to strike 12. By the way, we'll be playing Detroit this weekend, and sooner or later we have a rematch because that first one was ugly. If you're a Packers fan,
I hear you.
I know y'all are withdrawn fans up there. I can't wait for whatever team comes to St. Louis next. I have Team St. Louis.
I hear you. Hey, let me get your bio in, so then we'll get started into it. Scott Pruitt. I want everybody to know who you are. Scott Mitchell is the host of Oklahoma City's #1 rated weekend political TV show, News 9's Your Vote Counts, on Sundays. And on Saturday, he does a political show called Hot Seat. Those of you that watch the new CBS series Bull, Scott Mitchell is a real-life bull. Mitchell became the first communications professional in America to offer his litigation and advocacy insights for continuing legal education credit. Mitchell's pioneering blend of public affairs skills, campaign tactics, and trial and litigation support techniques are utilized by many of America's top corporations, trade associations, and lawyers. Did I get it right?
That sounds like Bill Clinton wrote that.
It does, doesn't it? All right.
I like the way you said that, man. That's good stuff right there.
All right. I want to talk to you about Scott Pruitt. And, I used to do an Oklahoma blog there many years ago. And I remember back then Scott Pruitt was a very colorful guy and kind of said, what was on his mind and everything. So let the St. Louis listeners tell us a little bit about Scott Pruitt and what type of EPA administrator you think he's going to be.
Well, let's just put it this way. He's the EPA, the last 8 years of the administration's worst nightmare. It's like Dak Prescott becoming the quarterback of the New York Giants.
Right.
How's that
right.
for an analogy? This guy, I wouldn't say he hates the EPA because, the climate people, and the one's biggest lie is climate denial. People know that climate's changing, but what they don't like to talk about is people have a problem with the prescription. They have a fix it.
Right.
I mean, that's what people have. And so if you disagreed with their inane, moronic views about how to fix climate change, then you're a denier. They put you on the defense right about it. So the New York Times and all of them up there, those people, they say he's a climate denier. He's not a climate denier. I'm going to say this one more. If you read the New York Times stories, he's not a climate change denier. He's not. What he is, he's a guy who has used the court system, whether one likes it or not. He has gone after the EPA on a number of fronts. Most recently, he became very, very either a hero or notorious, depending on what your viewpoint is.
Mm-hmm.
He really went after the clean energy plan that the EPA was pushing down everybody's throats, and specifically how it affected coal generating plants, and he used the court system. So he's a foe of the EPA. He is the kind of guy that takes issue with if there's a rainstorm comes by and there's a puddle, then it becomes protected wetland. I mean, he's this kind of guy. He's come out against extreme EPA policies. Some people think Scott's too close to the energy industry, the fossil fuel industry. We used to have a weekly radio show on the old WKY in Oklahoma City. I know him well. He doesn't hate the EPA. He doesn't hate green energy. What he doesn't like is he doesn't like the oversteps of the EPA, and that's how he became. The Trump administration became aware of him about his work in the court system, and then he's the sort of guy that the president-elect says he's going to carry out my wishes over to the EPA. So with Scott Pruitt, I can just sum it up by saying the pendulum will swing the other way.
Would Scott Pruitt have a problem if he was the last ever EPA administrator?
No, I don't think so. And I think people have to, a little quick history lesson. Now, this was an agency that I believe, Chris, was come out of the Interior in the years, in the Nixon years, at the time when President Nixon was having some problems. There are a lot of people who really want to impeach Nixon again over creating the EPA. I'm one of them. Mm-hmm. But the point is it was kind of like Nixon going to Nashville and playing the piano and some other things like that. This was probably, if you look back on the history, a department was created to try to curry favor with moderates, and it just got out of hand. It probably should be back under Interior. And just because you're opposed to EPA doesn't mean here's the mantra. Oh, you hate clean air and clean water. No, that's nothing to do with it. But he would not have a problem with that, in my opinion. But we don't know. He's going to face a really tough session there in Congress getting approved. He has not resigned as the Attorney General of Oklahoma.
I didn't know that.
Should play it carefully. So he is still the AG in Oklahoma. He will be until he's confirmed. And that'll be a bruising fight. I think he, Senator Sessions, some others are going to have some really tough times, but I just don't know if the math adds up to stop what they want to do. But Gerald Pruitt, he's a good man, even if he is from Kentucky.
The three people that, as I was saying to an earlier guest, that I'm looking forward to their confirmation hearings are Tillerson, Scott Pruitt, and Jeff Sessions. I think those are the three that you're going to see some fireworks. And, since Democrats have changed the rules that they only need 51 votes to, get these people confirmed, I think the Democrats are gonna blow all their powder. Everything that they have is going to be against Scott Pruitt. Even though they need 2 or 3 Republicans to go against him, which is not going to happen. But I think Scott Pruitt is where they're going to make their stand.
Probably. And he doesn't have that Russia entanglement, which means that he probably doesn't have the Lindsey Graham McCain problem. But I will tell you, he'll bring his A game, and he will be he'll be a big change up in terms of what they're thinking up there in Washington if he gets confirmed.
Excellent. How's the TV shows going?
Good. Number one in the markets. In fact, today we take this weekend shows. We've got a budget problem down here, and Republicans are still trying to cut our way to prosperity. But sometimes they forget about what Ronald Reagan used to say. It's not the income; it's we have a spending problem, and that I don't think some of the Republicans caught that. So
exactly.
Bureaucracies are too big down here, and we have supermajorities in both houses. The governor is in her last half of her second term, so they're under the gun. It's kind of similar to Kansas. We're going to see how people are going to react to making some tough decisions. One thing that's safe in Oklahoma for the last couple of years have been bureaucrats.
Exactly. Now, tell me this. I've told people, I've teased it, that you are the real-life bull, the trial consultant. If someone was looking for a trial consultant in St. Louis or in our metro area, how could they get a hold of Scott Mitchell?
Well, it's just easy. Call Chris Hart because he gets 15% of all the royalties.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, not supposed to let that get out, man. Come on.
I know. I'm not supposed to say that. Not supposed to say that.
All right. Well, Scott Mitchell, I appreciate your time, my friend, as always. Becky is here in the studio with me, and she says hello. And Happy New Year, my friend.
Becky, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to both of you.
She's smiling big time. Hey, Scott, good talking to you. Let's keep in touch.
Will do, buddy. Happy New Year, everybody.
Go Cowboys. We'll see you in the Super Bowl.
All right, but
All right. Thanks, Scott. Give Candace my regards, too. Scott Mitchell, telling us a little bit about Scott Pruitt. Like I said, that's going to be the fireworks confirmation and nominating a guy that wants to just get rid of the agency that he's going to head. That's going to be real fun. We've got one more hour to go, and we'll be back with Ben Evans, who we missed in the first hour, and some more guests. And we'll have Tony Colombo at the end of the hour talking a little Cowboys football. Thanks, guys.
So